There we go. I think you can hear me. I think you can hear me. I'm going to make sure. Test 1, 2. Whoa, 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 whoa. Test 1, 2. I can hear myself. Hello, we got Paul McLennan, Nicole Parrish, All the Best, Melissa McQueen, Ann Andy, Sarah Joy is moderating. Thank you for moderating. Sonic. No, I'm not obsessing on potato skins. Strange Reverend, Ann Andy, Clint Templeton, Julie Aiken, Jeff Ha, Tim McMinn, Tony Del Monte, Alibaba, Matt James. Yeah, I accidentally tweeted on Agenda Free TV instead of on Lookner channel, but then I deleted it. I just heard the loud thump again. I just heard it right now. I wonder if you guys could hear that. Let me replay this and see if I can hear it. Thump again. TV instead of on Lookner channel. But then I deleted it. I just heard the loud thump. You can't hear it. It's too like. I just heard it right now. It's too like low. It's too like low frequency for you guys to hear it. But I could hear it. What was the time code? I'm going to write myself a note. I couldn't hear it on my iPad, but I'll go back and see if I could hear it on the broadcast later. It's just, it's too low pitched. Okay. Kimberly Barr is there. Rick Hoppy is there. Cherry Cola. RGB, Ricky Field. Honey Bunch. There You Are, Perry, 2020. Wendy Lincoln. Major Moment Media, Patrick Davis. Kenneth Colton, Matt James. Dina Johnston. Geraldine Carstensen, Mark French, Janet R. Nancy T. Kathleen Kendall, Jack's grandma. I don't know who Jack is, but we have Jack's grandma. Quiana Capri. Mr. Showtime, Joanne Gabrielle, Julie Huft, Gabby Kiwi, Sebi. All right. Ron Borkin, Go Blue in Ohio. I'm sorry to take you away from the Meghan interview. I watched a little of the Meghan interview myself. I had no intention of it, but I watched it myself, some of it. So, well, I'm not really taking you away. You can just watch it instead if you want to. Mike Newhouse says, currently beating my wife at Scrabble and watching the stream. I honestly started reading it, and the first 4 words I just read were currently beating my wife. And I was like, wait, are we going to have to hide this person? Madison G is watching the All-Star game. Off My Lawn is here. Mick Jen is here. TJ is here. Idaho Star is helping moderate. Thank you. Thank you, Major Moment Media. Apology accepted. I enjoyed my baked potato. Yesterday. Yes, I had the chicken breast I cooked yesterday, the extra one I had tonight. And I made some rice and I had salad. That was my meal. The chicken breast from yesterday, some brown rice and salad. That's a lovely meal. Denise says we'll watch the Royals later. I watched a little of the 3-point contest, and I'm not really watching the All-Star game. Well, I'm obviously not watching the All-Star game because I'm doing this. Hello, Pats fan. Hello, Sarah Ritchie. Hello, Jan Harker. Oh, Tammy says the interview just started in Mountain Time. I guess it doesn't start at the same place throughout the country. Okay. Anyways, we're here to do this. Terry is here. Hello, Terry. Yeah, the WAP. I do eat a lot of chicken. It's my pandemic staple. I went to the grocery. I stopped in the grocery pretty quickly today, and I was going to get some hamburger meat for later this week, but they didn't have ground chuck, which is 20% fat. And then I asked. I said, "Are you out of ground chuck?" And they said, "Well, we don't have any of that, but the ground sirloin is basically the same. But the ground sirloin is 25% fat. So I don't know if you guys have ever cooked. I've never cooked with 25% fat burgers. I've only cooked with meat. I've only cooked with 20%. That's the one I use, ground chuck. So I was a little concerned about just how fatty it would be if it was 25% fat. I don't know if any of you guys have cooked with 25% fat ground sirloin. So I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it. But I don't know if any of you guys have ever. Electric Crystals says no. Has anyone ever cooked with? Anyone ever cooked with 25% fat? Rick thinks 25% would be good for burgers. But have you tried it? Denise says haven't. Drew says more flavor in 25% fat. Beth says yes for chili. Lizzie says I have not. Well, I'd rather not have the extra fat in my diet, right? So the WAP says it's good, I use it. Rick says I've tried it. Cam says chili and spaghetti sauce. It's probably richer. Kenneth says that's really high. Snookerstone says in Denmark we have 18%, 12%, and 7%. Okay. Alibaba's cooked with 30% fat burgers. Wow. I don't like 15% fat. You can really notice it. I like 20%. Lego Mike says 5% extra is not going to kill you. Well, whatever. I'll go back in a couple days and I'll grab some. It's not hard for me to run back in there. By the way, for the first time today, I wore an N95 mask versus a KN95. One of the viewers, I'm actually I'll show you this. I'm gonna show you. Now, Chris Lund was kind enough to send me some N95 masks. I haven't worn the one that Chris Lund sent me yet, but one of the viewers, I forget who it was, 3 weeks ago sent me an N95 mask, and I never had one before. It is the best mask I've worn. It is a noticeable difference. It's even noticeable from the KN95, which I like better than the cloth masks. So this is the N95 mask that I was sent, and I'll show you if I can do this. Let's see here. It's so good. It's so good because the fit is it's such a good fit around there's no leakage. There's no leakage. And everything's going in and out of here. It's not hard to breathe through. It's fine. It's so good. But again, the big point is that it's a really good seal all the way around here. I prefer to have the straps around your head rather than around your ears. So I love, this is my favorite. I love it even so much better than the KN95, and I like the KN95. So that's this one. This is the KN95. I actually bought some of these because I couldn't find any N95s that I thought were reputable. So I bought some KN95s, and I like these too, but I find that the seal is a little less solid than the N95. This is the KN95. And I like these a lot. Like if I now wear a cloth mask instead of this, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much leakage in my cloth mask. Also, this thing, like, it really does filter well. Like you can do a test where like I don't know if it's like you can't blow out a candle. I've done it before, but like if I'm blowing, I cannot feel my breath on my hand. I'm literally blowing and I can't feel the breath on my hand because the with these masks the fibers are designed to filter out the air going back and forth. So anyways, so this was a significant improvement to me over the cloth mask. But I was happy with my KN95. But then I got the N95. I had never worn an N95 mask before today, and I noticed the difference. The KN95, there's a little leakage I find, like around like your cheeks or whatever sometimes. So, anyways, so you know, I'll read some of your comments on this, but I had never tried an N95 before today, and I am sold on the N95. Although I will use my KN95s too, because I like those as well. But anyways, but I had never tried an N95 before today, and I was like, wow. I didn't expect to notice the difference so much between the N95 and the KN95. All right, hang on, I'm going to put these back. Let me see what you have to say. Margot says the N95 looks great. Yeah, I've never used one before. Julie Huff says, I use N95 for work almost every day. The price became ridiculous during the pandemic. I used to buy boxes of them for $13. I feel like I've seen them lately for like a couple, well, I saw some sites selling N95s for like $4 a piece. KN95s, I bought some for like $2 a piece from a company that I thought was reputable. Yeah, I'm sure they're more expensive than they used to be. Yeah, you have to watch out for fakes. You do. You do have to watch out for fakes. That's what kept me from buying N95s, because I couldn't find a reputable place to buy them. And the places that I thought were reputable didn't have them in stock. Melissa McQueen says, I like the KN95 shape. Denise Horton said, I had difficulty breathing in mine the first month. Now it's no problem at all. Sue T says, I have the mask with the vents in the side with the charcoal filter inserts. Yes, I do pinch. So on these masks, on both the N95 and the KN95, they have like a metal piece here, and you're supposed to press it in to make the seal good. So I do that on both of them. Let's see. Beth says it's not super tight and uncomfortable. Yeah, I didn't find it super tight and uncomfortable. Mr. Showtime says N95 easy to breathe in. But I'm very impressed with the N95. Major Moment Media says the box of N95s he or she has cost $35 for a box of 12. Hey, thanks so much. No, Patrick Davis, I am not obsessing over Grandma Pizza. Maybe I will when I try it. But thank you, Patrick Davis. I really appreciate that. I have not tried it yet. Next time I'm in Long Island, I'll have to try some Grandma Pizza. Okay, so let's get to what I'm obsessing about. Let's do that. Thanks to our moderators, by the way. We have Sarah Joy is there. Just Sarah Joy, that's fine with me. Lizzie is there moderating too. Lizzie, Idaho Star, all right. Julie Huff says you couldn't get them at all for months and it was tough for work. No, I'm good right now. Major Moment Media, Chris Lund was nice enough to send me some N95s. So I have some KN95s. And I have some KN95s I bought from before. So I have enough masks. If I end up having extra, I'll give them to people. But I'm have them for now. Anyways. Okay, so let's get into the topic of discussion. Hang on a second here. Yeah, now the fabric ones. Oh, fabric. I do like cloth. Like cloth masks are fun. I mean, first of all, because you can get they can look neat. And cloth masks can be really helpful too. So I'm not saying don't wear cloth masks. I'm just saying I had never worn the N95s before. I mean, if you have access to them, that's going to filter. The N95s and the KN95s are going to filter better than the cloth, but they're expensive. So, if nothing else, a cloth mask is very helpful. Okay, now. Oh, Jay-Z is there too. Okay, so over the past couple of days, yeah, Terry says if you're worried, you can put a disposable one under the cloth ones. You can double mask if you want. Over the past couple of days, I have started to become really obsessed, and I am really focused on this. I am very, very focused on it. It is my chief focus of attention right now. Over the last couple of days, I have become obsessed with getting the vaccine, not through some underhanded means, but getting a leftover dose of the vaccine. What happened is, I think my obsession really began yesterday. Yesterday, this story came out, like yesterday around like noontime. There was this announcement that in Florida, in South Florida, south of Miami, there was a FEMA site that started like in the afternoon just giving the vaccine to anyone 18 and over. Like they just started doing it. It actually became a national story today. But I was talking about it on our news coverage yesterday. So I was looking at that, and that kind of got me like doing some research, and I found some like Florida online groups. There's groups of people online in Florida who share information on people who are looking to get the vaccine, and they share their experiences online. And the more I read, the more I saw that like in plenty of places in Florida, and I'm sure around the country too, there are people getting vaccinated who aren't old, who aren't like 70, who don't have a comorbidity. They're not in any of the special categories, and they're getting them because places have extra doses of the vaccine that they're not going to use, and they don't want to throw them out because these vaccines, in certain conditions, sometimes they have to, I'm not up on the specifics. I believe they have to like defreeze them, and then once you defreeze them to use them, then you only have a certain amount of time to use them. But the point is, vaccines, they do expire. So there's various people who have gotten vaccines by going somewhere where they have to throw them out, and then they have this waste list, this waste avoidance list, where they just will give it to people, even if you're not in one of the special groups, because they just don't want to throw it out. And the more I read about this, and the more I saw that people were like actually getting vaccinated who weren't in any of the special categories, I was just like, I need to, whether or not I can do this, I need to put the effort in. Given how much I want to get the vaccine and how I'd like to get it as soon as possible, it'd be really stupid of me to not put the effort in to actually do my best. Whether I'm successful or not, I want to do my best to try to get the vaccine, not in an illegitimate way, but in a legitimate, getting a extra dose that's going to go to waste anyway. So So, so I've been doing a bunch of research on that. I actually got on the wait list. Some places have wait lists. They can be long wait lists, but some places that give out vaccines have wait lists where they say you can get on our wait list, and if we ever have extra vaccines, we'll call you. I don't know if any of those will ever bear any fruit, but I did get on a bunch of wait lists. And there was a Walmart today I drove to a Walmart about 20 minutes away because their wait list you have to get on in person. And I put my name on their wait list. And I'm thinking of going. I've read things about that Walmart where people sometimes go in the morning and they get called later on. So my name's on the wait list, but it's like handwritten. So I'm kind of thinking I might go in the morning sometime this week to put my name on the wait list again. But I feel like I need to do this. I at least need to put in the effort. If I don't, I'll spend the time I spend waiting. I'll spend the same amount of time. If I don't put in the effort, I'll just spend a lot of time like obsessing over, well, when is the vaccine going to be available for like my age group? So I have been spending a lot of time reading about different groups, reading different groups online. I was considering, but I'm not going to. There is a place in Jacksonville. There's a specific site in Jacksonville that they don't have a lot of demand in that town. So people have had very good luck getting on the wait list there and getting an unused vaccine. There was one person online who literally drove from Orlando there. The problem is it's spotty. You don't know on a specific day if it's going to work out or not. And I really don't feel comfortable driving 2 hours to Jacksonville just to be told, oh, we don't have any extra today. I don't really want to do that. But I was thinking about it. So I'm really focused on this right now. I want to put in the effort and try to see if I can make it happen. And also my schedule, unlike a lot of people, I have a flexible schedule, right? So, I don't have to be in an office from 9 to 5, or I don't have to be like, if it's a 10 a.m. opening, if it's a 3 p.m. opening, if it's a 7 p.m. opening, I can get there. So I really, Beth Standard says, I agree, do everything you can. That's how I got the vaccine, was aggressive in it. So this is what I am thinking about. And again, maybe I won't be able to get it. That's possible. But I feel like I need to put in the effort. And part of the effort is doing the research, because there's some sites, I've been reading these groups and I've been reading people posting online. There's some sites where it just ain't going to happen. There's other sites where they seem more open to it. So you need to, I found it helpful to do the research, and I'm learning about, I might want to focus on this site and not so much these places. So this is I've been like reading a lot of people's posts and seeing updates and stuff. So this is kind of I kind of am obsessed with this right now. The same way when I was looking for an apartment. Whenever I've looked for an apartment, it's been like this. But you kind of look into it, and you think about, you kind of look online at some places, and you're considering it. And then at a certain point for me, it hits that point where it's like, you got to get this done. You need to focus on this and get this done. And it's time to get it done. And so I've kind of hit this point where I feel like I need to focus on this and try to get it done. It might not get done. It's not in my hands. But I do want to take a couple days and really be focused on it, and at least do what I can. If I don't get it, that's fine. But I don't want to sit here thinking I didn't do what I could. And it's just, I see, the more research I do, the more I see that it is happening. People at different places are getting doses that are leftover doses that would have gone to waste. It's not like 1 in a million people. It is something that's fairly common. There's no right way to do it. There's different strategies. There's different places. So I've been trying to look around and figure it out. But I was really thinking about going to Jacksonville, but I can't do it. It's not a. Also, the other thing about Jacksonville is I feel like now that I know about it, like once I hear about it, maybe it's too late, and then too many people will know about it. Let me read some of your comments. But it's going to take up so much of my thoughts anyway that I'd rather have my thoughts go to trying to get it done than just waiting. Let's see here. Sarah Joy, if you get a leftover first dose, generally speaking, from what I've seen, they make you an appointment for your second one. So if I were to get a leftover first dose at like a Walmart, from what I understand, they would automatically make a second dose appointment for you at the same place. Yeah, Nicole says if there are no shows, they need people. So it's important to be available. But not all the places do it. Not all the places give out their extra doses, or they don't to like the general public. I have done some research. From what I understand, the Publix in Florida are generally not doing it. Maybe they do it maybe they do it at specific ones. But I've called some of them. I've read online, and they're not doing it like the Walmarts are. So the Walmarts seem a little better about doing it, but it just depends on the place. Let's see here. Jeff Haas says, sounds like we're taking another road trip to Chattanooga. If I said this before, I've said it on the air. I've said it while covering news. I've said if somebody called me up tomorrow and said, you are guaranteed a dose and you have to drive 10 hours, I would get right in the car and do it. What I don't want to do is drive a couple hours somewhere and just not get it and then have to drive back. That's not good. Michael Risola says, show up at a site at the end of the day. Sometimes you can get a shot because they don't want to waste the unused vaccine. So that is true. The thing is, some sites do it though, and some sites don't. And also, like if I wasn't doing anything at all, if I wasn't working at all, if I wasn't doing this, well, yeah, maybe I'd spend all day literally just going to sites. But I don't want to do that, right? So I kind of have to be smart with my time. About just going to places, because I need to be here to cover news if news happens, that kinds of thing. So I think some people probably are just doing that, but I can't just randomly pick a place and go every day and just wait around and see, So I'm not going to do that. So I'm trying to do research to kind of be smart about it. Let's see here. Sean says, if you really want the vaccine, just wait until you know it's effective. I know it's effective. The testing has shown it's effective. What do I have to wait for? All three vaccines approved in the U.S., all three vaccines in the U.S. have been demonstrated in large clinical trials to be 100% in the trials effective against in preventing hospitalization and death from the virus. So I don't have to wait another second to know that it's effective. The data shows it's effective. Let's see here. All the Best says, don't be hasty, just wait for your time. Why is it being hasty? Why is it being hasty to try to get a vaccine, which is an extra dose, when they are giving it to people? I don't see why that's being hasty. Why is it not waiting for my time? Why can't my time be now if plenty of people are getting it in extra doses? Why can't now be my time if they're giving it to people? Melissa McQueen says, you're going to be so hyped if you can do an impromptu I Got the Vax stream. I will be. Look, I wish it was available for everybody. But it's just the situation where there are some people who are getting it before they're allowed to, because these sites are running out of they have extra doses and they want to just have somebody take it rather than throw it away. Kelsey gets hers tomorrow at 10 a.m. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't take away somebody's dose who's in one of the protected categories. Look, you can, if you want to fake your way to a dose, I'm sure you can do it. One of the places today I was looking into was a place that it seemed like if you just told them you had a condition, they might give it to you. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to lie my way to get a vaccine. I don't want to get a vaccine unless I'm allowed really to get it. But if I'm allowed to get it, yeah, I want to get it. C. Michelle Sparks says, I'd do it if I didn't have my family to cover. Jeff Haas says, they drive to Jacksonville is a long drive unless it's a slam dunk. Snookerstone says, can you choose if you want the old school vaccine or the new Johnson & Johnson vaccine? Most places that I've read about where people get the extra dose, the unused dose vaccine, most places I've read about, you don't choose. You just take whatever they give you. Let's see here. Another thing that's going on in Florida is, in some parts of Florida, at some of these sites, there's just a ton of demand and they're using up all their vaccines. But in a bunch of sites in Florida, there's not big demand. And it's unfortunate, but they have not all of the vaccine is being used. So there is excess vaccine out there. Jacques Bird says, after you get the shot, will you go back to Boston and visit? Yeah, the sooner I get vaccinated, the sooner, yes. One of the things, probably the most important thing I would do after I got vaccinated is visit my family, which I haven't been able to do since November of 2019. So yes. But it's just something that, like, I've been really waiting for it. I've been spending a lot of time kind of like waiting and researching, like, when might my age group open up? And then I'm like, well, why am I not spending that time actually trying to get it if they're giving it to people? If I could go somewhere and I knew I could wait 10 hours out in a parking lot and get it, I would. It's just it doesn't work like that. So you kind of have to figure out, like, what lists to get on and how might I increase my possibility of getting it. So I am really focused on this. I've been doing a bunch of research. There's some. Oh, let me say this though. So I know in Florida there's a couple of groups, like on Facebook, where people share experiences about trying to get the vaccine. If you're trying to get the vaccine, I highly recommend, wherever you are, find groups of people online, because it's been so helpful for me to find these groups. And I hear all these experiences that people are having in different places in Florida and different places near me in Orlando. And you can talk to people about it and you can ask questions. But it's very, very helpful being able to find these groups and see what other people are talking about. Because somebody will say, oh, I went here. They just they didn't have any vaccine. They didn't have any extra, or they're not going to give you extra if you're not on, you're not one of these categories. Other people will say, I went to this place. They are giving out extra. They're giving it at this time. This is when you have to show up. This is when you should call them, all of that stuff. So it's stuff you just wouldn't know. So I recommend, if it's something you're interested in doing, try to find a group or groups online where people are sharing that information, who are actually doing it. Beth says they need to open it up now for all. Well, I don't think that's going to happen right now. I know in Florida, supposedly this week, they're going to actually lower the age. It's not going to be my age, though. Ugh, with this, stop it with the survival rate stuff. It's ridiculous, the survival rate stuff. I love when people say something like 99.5% survival rate. So why should you care? So if somebody handed you, if somebody handed you a bowl of M&Ms and there were 200 M&Ms, and one of the M&Ms had cyanide and it would kill you, would you not care about eating one of those 200 M&Ms? Because 99.5% survival rate is 1 in 200. So would you? So somebody who says, oh, what do I care about 99.5% survival rate? Well, would you care if I handed you a bowl of M&Ms and said eat one, and one of them had cyanide poisoning in it? I don't think you'd eat it. And also, you can get sick. It's not just about dying. You can get sick, too. So you don't have to die to get sick. So enough with the nonsense survival rate stuff. Jay-Z says the after effect can be horrible too. Exactly. Right. And as Void Moon says, you can pass it on to other people. Right. So, like, I'm not going to go visit my family, even if they're all vaccinated, because I want to not give it to them. But here's the thing with that, though. We don't know for sure, though. We don't know for sure. There's data suggesting that it's harder, that it helps reduce transmission. It helps reduce transmission. So, but it's not been proven whether and how much vaccination reduces transmission, but there's promising data on it. But I would feel more comfortable having been vaccinated. I want to do everything I can to not give it to other people. But I just, for me personally, it's just the kind of thing, like, I just want to be done with it. I want to not worry about it anymore. And if I either could get it sooner or get it later, and if I get it later, I'm just going to be worrying about it the whole time. So at a certain point, it's just like, if you can get it done with now, any time I expend on this now will be very much saved afterwards if I can get vaccinated earlier, because I won't spend all that extra time worrying about the vaccine stuff. That's the problem. If I don't get it and I wait, I'll just be anxious about it the whole time, waiting. So I'd rather get it done now and just not worry about it anymore. Jay-Z says, I want the vaccine ASAP. My mom is 82. I need to be around her frequently. So I am really focused on this. Sean, you broke the rules. Sean, you broke the rules, so you got timed out, Sean. You broke the rules, you got timed out. You should know the rules by now. Oh my gosh, unknown I should worry about the unknown long-term side effects to vax. So Rob Banks, Rob, I guess you're such an expert on how vaccines work that you know more than all of the people, all the scientists, the CDC, all of the public health experts in the country and other countries who are confident in this and understand how this works and are confident in the safety of this vaccine. But you, Rob Banks, I guess you're so smart and you're so trained in this field, and I guess you're really up to date on all the research about this, and you've done experiments yourself, so you just know more than all these experts. Rob Banks. Boy, I should have listened to you. Why am I listening to all of the experts who are putting their names to this, who spent their life studying this, who actually understand how this thing works, when I could just be listening to you? Matt James, hold on. I accidentally did, sorry, hold on a second here. Matt James, you are one step away from getting hidden. If you want to be an anti-vaxxer, take it somewhere else. Take your anti-vaxxy. You can go to the Crazy Conspiracy Nutty Person Anti-Vax channel, but you are not welcome here. Anti-vax nutty people who make the world a worse place because they spout nonsense and encourage people to do things which are bad for everyone, take it somewhere else. You're a bad person and you're bad for society, and I don't want it here, and I'm not going to listen to you. And don't tell me to relax, or you'll get hit. Garbage. The people sitting in their couch, people sitting on their recliner, who know nothing about anything, who are spouting like they know more than like the people who've studied this stuff and actually understand how it works. Jan Porter says, I had the vaccination, stress is gone. Well, if you get it, it takes a while for it to work. I know it's several weeks between first and second doses if you have Moderna or Pfizer. And then you have to wait a couple weeks after that. Jay-Z says, hey, Steve, it's weird. I've never had measles, mumps, whooping cough, and TB. Weird, huh, that I took those vaccines and I'm immune. So I'm going to, thank you, Mr. Showtime. Mr. Showtime says, I'm getting a tattoo that says I got the vax as soon as I get the shot. Are you really doing that, Mr. Showtime? All right, so again, what I am obsessing on is, just to go over this again, is that a couple days ago, I heard this story about what was going on in Florida where, it was yesterday, where in Florida, this FEMA vaccination site mistakenly started giving the vaccine to everybody 18 and over in Florida who wanted it. And it was a mistake, and they stopped doing it today. But that got me doing some research about this, because I'm in Florida, I'm in Orlando, and I found a couple of online groups of people seeking vaccines in Florida, and I've been doing research, and I've been realizing that people around the state, and I'm sure around the country, are getting vaccinated by getting the leftover doses at sites where they don't want to throw the doses out, and they need to use them. So there are many people who are actually getting vaccinated that way, even though they don't meet any of the, the criteria you would normally have to meet to get a vaccine so far. And given how much I've been waiting for the vaccine and want to take it, I was just like, well, why am I not putting some effort into actually trying to get vaccinated with one of these leftover doses? Why, with all the effort I'm spending worrying about when I'd get vaccinated and waiting for it, I could actually put that effort towards trying to actually get it. Why am I not doing that? So I've been doing research, and as I said before, I got on a few places, their waste avoidance vaccine wait list. I don't know if I'll ever get called from one of those. And I went to one Walmart today to get my name on a list. I might go there in the morning in a future day, because I hear it might be better to go there in the morning. So I'm trying to focus on getting this done. I don't know if it'll get done, because who knows, it's not up to me. But I would like in the next few days to put in some effort to doing this, to just give it my best try. Ugh. Tracy Jones with nonsense. The vaccine was pushed through the animals that it was tested on died. Just nonsense. Just absolute nonsense. Nobody died. Nobody in any of the major trials in the U.S. for Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson. Nobody died and nobody was even hospitalized. But Tracy on here is spouting that the animals that it was tested on died. Well, the humans didn't die. But Tracy knows better. Tracy knows better than the experts, because she's smart. Thank you, by the way, Elizabeth, for your support. Elizabeth says, pro-vax here, I think it's my duty as a citizen. It should be considered a duty, because you're not just doing it for you, you're doing it to help spread things to other people. Don Pratt also said, in theory, also you not being in the hospital helps other people. That's another way in which it helps other people. If you don't get sick, then you're not taking up a hospital bed. Drew Pratt says, thank you, Drew. Drew says, we have just started vaccinating here in Australia. Can't wait to get it. They say total country vax by November. I hope it's faster than that. Thank you, Drew, for your support from Australia. Linda, no, nobody in the trials, the vaccines were 100% effective against hospitalizations and deaths. In the trials. There are people who have died after taking the vaccine. That's not surprising because they've given the vaccine to how many people? How many people have gotten it in the U.S. so far? It's tens of millions of people. I want to say like there's been 90, I think there's been 90 million, around 90 million doses given. So people do die. So people will die after taking the vaccine because people die anyway. Unfortunately. Why do people ask this? Turtletub says, why no agenda-free TV streams lately? How could you know? If you watch agenda-free TV, don't you know it's when we cover big news stories? Was there some giant news story today that I normally would have covered on agenda-free TV that I didn't cover? Isn't agenda-free TV, we cover the news when it's breaking, when it's a certain kind of news story? It's just like, everybody always thinks like, you take a day or two off and everybody's like, is something wrong with you? Is something wrong? Is something wrong? Well, no. I just don't understand. I mean, I would think if people watch agenda-free TV, they know we focus on like big breaking news stories. I'm flabbergasted that people constantly ask that question. No, I do need to complain about it because I constantly asked it, and it's just like, don't you know what the channel's about? Why are you asking it? That's it. Sirens in the distance, you're gone. Sirens in the distance, gone. Sirens in the distance has been banned. Sirens in the distance has been banned. That's it. Out. Get out. Sirens in the distance, you're out. Go find another channel. Go find another channel to comment on. You're done. No more. No more. Out. Hey, thank you, Carol Llewellyn. I appreciate it. Thank you, Patrick Davis. I appreciate it, Patrick Davis. Thank you. Thank you, Patrick. Appreciate your support. Margot says, taking vaccine is not unsafe. Not taking vaccine is unsafe. Yes, that's right. That's true. It's an obvious fact. Oh, no, now that's it. I just hit somebody else. Anti-vax stuff, if you're going to be anti-vax, you're gone. Anti-vax, you're gone. Take it somewhere else. I'm hiding people. Anti-vaxxers, go find someone. Go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. I'm hiding people. Go somewhere else. Take your craziness somewhere else. Take your awful craziness, which is harmful to the world, somewhere else. Not here. Not my channels. I'm not going to let you use my chat rooms to spread your garbage. Hey, ePen, I don't care which, if I get a leftover one, I don't care what it is. They all have proven extraordinarily effective against the most serious kinds of disease and deaths from the virus, so I don't care what I get. Whatever they want to give me, I'm happy with it. So we'll see. I got to figure out like the next couple days. Like, there's a loud car playing music outside. So there's this one place. There's this one place where I actually. All the best. I know I don't meet the normal categories in Florida, but places are giving away shots when people don't use when they have extra and they're throwing it away. There's nothing underhanded. There's nothing underhanded about When you say to somebody, you should wait your turn, that implies that there's something like sneaky or underhanded or improper about getting it now. There's nothing improper about getting it now if it's just extra stuff that's going to be thrown away. Mike Owen, thank you, Mike Owen. I appreciate it. Mike says, I just got my paperwork from work. I'm qualified to get the vaccinated under essential worker. I hope to get my first shot within the week. Awesome. You know, if you're looking to make an appointment, if you are somebody who does fall under the criteria of people who are allowed to get it right now, just allowed to make an appointment, I would also recommend go find a group. These online groups are great because, like in Orlando, some places it's very hard to or impossible to make an appointment, but there's other sites where you can just walk up and get it. So I see it. I see people online saying, I can't find a place to make an appointment. And then I see other people posting and say, oh, there's this, if you go to this site, you're golden. You barely have to wait. As long as you are in one of the required categories. So if you're looking to make an appointment, again, if you're having trouble making an appointment, look online. Look also in the city next to yours. There might be a place 45 minutes away from you that is having, we can make an appointment. So, but I'm seeing a lot of that around here where some people are saying, I can't make an appointment, but there's other places that they could. It's just I don't think they know about them. Yeah, I found 2 groups on Facebook, April Coco, but I also have seen people talking about it on Reddit. Julie Huff says when they open a batch, they have about 3 hours to use all the doses. If there's no arm, they need to find one or waste the vaccine. This is how I got mine. That's how Julie got hers. But it's different at different places. So I'm going to be doing more research about it. But Drew Pratt, thank you, Drew. Drew says, thanks, Drew. Drew says he loves the streams. Go Vax, the sooner the better for the whole world. Drew, Australia. Thank you, Drew. I appreciate that from Australia. Melissa McQueen says Reddit has been a godsend of info for me this past year. I mean, it's very weird. It's not a good situation to me that this is what you're reduced to doing. So there's plenty of people out there who are getting doses that go unused, that are. It's this very weird situation where there's a lot of people who have been successful in getting a dose that was going to get thrown away. But it's this very weird thing where there's not one central list and there's no one right way to do it. And I've just been kind of looking into it the last couple of days and spending a lot of time researching it. And there's like all these things you need to try. And so I went to a site today. There was one site I went to because I guess at that site, from what I heard, the list they have is you have to go in person and get on the list. So I went in person and got on the list. It was towards the end of the day. Do they save my name on the list for tomorrow? I have no idea. Some people were saying they had luck there going in the morning and then putting the name on the list in the morning. So I might, if I'm up tomorrow morning, I might drive over there even though I was just there today, and put my name on the list again because somebody said that worked for them. Who knows if it'll work? But it's just very odd situation where a lot of people are getting it this way, but there's no like official list you get on, one national list. You just have to kind of figure it out yourself. But if I'm going to try doing it, I mean, if it's just a question of figuring it out and figuring out the best way to try, then I at least should, given all the time I'm spending being anxious about getting it, I should at least probably my time is better spent actually focusing my energy and trying to actually get it. Cyrene74, thanks for watching. Jessica says, maybe show up a few minutes before the last dose is scheduled at CVS or Walmart or somewhere to see if it works. So again, I know what you're saying, and I appreciate the suggestion, but I need to be more careful about my time, because if you do the research, you find that there's certain places where you're a lot less likely to get it than other places. So, if I leave here and go to CVS and I wait around, I'm not here. There might be breaking news. So I need to minimize the amount of time I'm going to someplace. So just to show up somewhere without doing research on it, for me, is not really going to work well. So what I'm trying to do is to do the research, and rather than just show up somewhere, try to figure out, okay, well, where are the places people are having success? Where are they not? And what's a way I can actually do this without, spending all day running around and going to different places? Because I would like to be here as much as possible. But I don't know how it's going to go. It's just a weird thing that, like, you're kind of just, if you want to try and get it, one of these unused doses, you just have to, like, figure out how to do it. Sonic says, do any of the retailers offer in Orlando? Publix offers it in Orlando, but from everything I've heard in my research so far, suggests that they're not really forthright about giving these things out. What I might do is, since there's a Publix kind of near me, I might go over there sometime and just see and ask the day of. I might actually try doing that tomorrow. I might go walk by later on and see what the deal is there. And maybe I can talk to somebody. They might say, well, we don't have any today, but here's the time when you should come by or call or something like that. So I might do that. I believe CVS has started. I haven't talked to any of them. Walmart's do it. There's some state sites, but from what I've read here, the state sites are not near where I am. The state sites are not giving out unused doses to people who don't qualify under one of the specified categories. So I'm not going to the big FEMA site in Orlando, because I've read online people keep saying, well, if I've tried to go there, and if you're not, above 65 or have this disease or whatever, they're just not giving it to you. So I'm not going to go there and waste my time. Jeff Haas says Walgreens will have it soon, I hope. I think some Walgreens might have it in Orlando. Hey, thanks, Steel Magnolia. Yeah, you're right. The Johnson & Johnson is 1 dose. Pfizer and Moderna 2. But I'll take any of them. I will take any of them. Also, I don't think for me it's going to be like, if for me, realistically, I think if I just wait for my age group, I bet it'll be sometime in like mid-April or something. So, it's not, I don't think it's going to be, if I could get it like in a week, that's not a difference of like a few days. That might save me a month and a half. That might give me protection a month and a half sooner. So I think it's worth doing the research. Logical Danger says, no wasted shots in your state. Are you sure about that? Because in my state, there's some place where the sites are packed, and there's other places where the sites aren't very packed at all. There's a number of I just posted a tweet a little while ago. Jacksonville, they've had certain places there where the demand is low. It just depends on where you are. Here, I'll show you. Ben Conark posted this. Florida Association of Public Information Officers. State of Florida Regency Mall vaccination site. Totals. They've actually gone down the last 5 days. Ben Conark is with the Miami Herald. He says it seems pretty clearly tied to not enough demand left in the eligible groups and too much paperwork needed for others to get a shot. But they're not using all their doses there. Just depends on where you are. Some other places, they're running out of doses. But if I have to go, I would go 2 hours somewhere. I'd go 10 hours somewhere and get it if I knew I could get it. Chris Lund says, are they producing the vaccine around the clock? I believe they're producing the vaccine, as quickly as they can. It just can't be produced. I don't know the specifics about what the limitations are, but there's just limitations on how much they can produce. So I actually think they'll, in a bunch of places, you'll start seeing it open up to more people. Not completely open, but in Florida, we've just had this thing where, some places are packed. Other places in Florida, especially the federal sites, they have not had very heavy demand. And it's like that's people who could be getting the vaccine who aren't getting it. Jay-Z thinks we are all covered by May. But I wouldn't really care about this if nobody was getting these unused doses. I wouldn't really care. But the more research I've done and the more of these local things I've read about people's experiences in Florida and the more posts I read, I see that people all around me are getting these unused doses. You just have to figure out how to do it. Yeah, I think Denise Horton. There's a certain segment of the population, a non-insignificant populace of the population that either doesn't want it, that either is against it, or just doesn't think it's important and doesn't want to bother. So we'll see what happens. I'm interested in seeing. I'm on a bunch of these. I got on a bunch of Walmart lists for unused doses where they take your name and number down. I don't know if they'll call me for any of those. Some people say they get called. Some people say they don't. Jeff thinks everyone who wants it will probably have it by the end of April. The logical danger says you might have to be at the right place at the right time. You might have to be. There might be a place where you call. There's people online who say, I called and I talked to a pharmacy technician at this Walmart or at this Publix. And I just happened to call and the person said to me, we have one. Can you be here in a half an hour? And other people will say I called and they were no. There's plenty of people who have stories saying that they tried for days and they just lucked out one time. It's just it's weird. It's just kind of random. But I'm trying to maximize my possibilities. But it's this weird thing where they don't acknowledge they do it. Why can't there just be some kind of more organized system for giving people the extra doses? It's this kind of sneaky it's this hidden system where these extra doses are being given out. The unused doses, which might be wasted, they are being given out, but there's no official open system for it. TJ says it's just so unorganized. Yeah, the extra doses stuff is it's all over the place. And it's very secretive. Jan Porter said there would be too many people. Well, if it involved, you don't want lots of people showing up and waiting, but I don't see why you couldn't have a more organized list. Jeff Haas says they probably aren't allowed to announce it. Maybe they're not. I don't know. It's just, it's happening everywhere. The logical danger is because at the beginning, some places got bad publicity for giving out extra doses. There should have been better guidelines from feds and states on extra doses. Mick Jens has sent you a website via DM regarding a site that seems to be getting good feedback. I'll have to check it out. Melissa McQueen says hoop jumping. Mick Jen says they found a site called vaxstandby.com. The standby list. I don't even know what this is. Who are these people who did this? How does this work? Who are they? Vaccination Standby lets providers with extra unused doses reach people within driving distance who want to get vaccinated. So I guess supposedly, I have to research this site before they give them my information. It's a site that I guess is like supposed to be a middle person between you and like the providers, rather than you contacting the providers directly. I'd sort of want to know a little more about them before I gave them my info. Yeah, Erin Weirdo says, looks like a phishing site. So I would need to know more before giving them my info. Maybe they're genuinely doing it out of the goodness of their hearts. I don't know. I just don't know. I haven't looked at it. Elizabeth Prentley says, why not let the vulnerable get their shot first? They are getting their shot first. Again, what I'm talking about is getting an extra dose that's unused at the end of the day, and that would get thrown out. I'm not talking about someone like me taking a dose from someone who's on one of the vulnerable categories. Again, I'm talking about places where they have extra vaccine at the end of the day, and it's going to spoil, and it's going to go to nobody. That's what I'm talking about. I would say, sorry, thank you, Mick Jen, for sending the site. I'll just have to do some more research on it. I don't know enough about it. I will say this, I haven't seen anyone on the boards I've been on talk about that site. Doesn't mean it's not a good site, it's just I haven't seen it brought up, so I'd want to do a little more research about it. Mick Jen says, NBC and a few other news sources have done some stories on them. I will check it out. There you are, Perry says, I had both shots. It was easy to sign up and drive up site. Not sure why one thinks it's chaotic. Well, a couple things. First of all, the kind of thing, what I'm talking about is if the people who are getting extra doses, who are going to get thrown, who are getting the waste doses, the ones that are going to, the waste avoidance doses, it basically couldn't be more chaotic with that, because it's just like a free-for-all trying to figure out how to get one of those. But in terms of, some people have had very easy experiences making an appointment, getting a vaccine. Some people, it's been really hard. It varies. I read the stories online. Leslie B says, I'm calling my local clinic tomorrow to see if they have extra doses. Doesn't hurt to try. Sure, and you can also, it's also weird because there's sites I've read about online that if you call them early in the day, they'll say no. And if you go there early, they'll say no. But if you go there at the end of the day, they might say yes. It's so weird. It's like these are the kinds of stories people are spreading online. So it's not just that like, oh, this site is giving out some extra doses. It's like there might be certain times in the day where you have to go. And some sites you might need to call. Some sites you might need to go in person. It's just really weird, and it's different on different days. It's all this specialized knowledge that you have to try to maximize your potential of getting one of these unused doses. Camille is getting vaccinated on Tuesday. Very nice. Michael Peterson said, just got an appointment for Tuesday. Awesome. Phyllis says, what's making me mad is those who have shots that won't wear the mask. Brad says, you might try smaller mom and pop pharmacies. That they're not giving it out here, not in Florida. Not where I am. Snookerstone says in Denmark they have an official waiting list, but you need to be next on vaccination list to be on waiting list. I mean, my mom, when she got her vaccine, it was very weird. She couldn't get an appointment, and then she talked to her doctor, and then kind of like mysteriously the next day, the hospital sent her an email, but the doctor never like specifically. So I don't know if the doctor did it or something. It was she was very mysterious process for her. Elizabeth Prentley says, my sister got it. She's so much happier. So I think what I'd like to do, I'd like to tomorrow, if I can wake up, I don't know if this is going to happen because my hours are so screwed up, but if I can wake up, I'd like to go to the Walmart I went to today that some people have had good luck with, and maybe put my name on the list tomorrow morning. We'll see if I can get up and do it. But I would like to do that. It's also a very strange situation right now because lots of people are getting it, and lots of people know people who are getting it. It's a very strange thing because I think people are going to get more impatient and angry about it. The more people get it, the more other people are seeing people get it who can't get it. And they'll be like anxious about wanting to get it because they're seeing all these people getting it. John Ditch, as I said earlier, I got on the list at that Walmart I went to today, but I don't know if they carry over the list to the next day or not. I have no idea. Eric B. says, yeah, I know someone who found a way to get it somehow. Hollywood drove 5.5 hours one way for the first dose. I would do that if I was guaranteed of getting a dose. If you missed it, I said before that there's a place in Jacksonville where people have had a lot of good luck, and I was thinking of driving there, but because I've been reading online stories of people getting it there, getting the extra doses. But some days people say they couldn't get the extra, they didn't have extra doses there, or they couldn't get it. So I don't. Part of me wanted to just drive 2 hours there and just give it a shot. I don't think that's a smart choice. If I drove 2 hours to Jacksonville and then I showed up and they're like, oh, we don't have any extra today, I'd feel really bad. So I was thinking about it though, but I just don't think it's the right call. I don't think it's the right call. But I thought about it. Yeah, Sean says, imagine if you drove there and they didn't have any. I would be really annoyed. It's a ways. Then you got to drive back. Then you got to make the whole drive back. Animated Adventure says, seeing others a few months after theirs will help others become more secure about taking it themselves. Elizabeth, the approved vaccines are supposed to be effective against the variants. Maybe not as effective, but still significantly effective against the major variants right now. Melissa McQueen says, I bet it's an absolute nightmare working at the pharmacies right now. Yeah, I mean, anybody involved in this whole process, I'm sure there's just so much you have to deal with because there's such a demand for it. And also, I don't want to bother people. I mean, you could start going places every day and nagging them, which I don't want to do. It's not clear how long the immunity lasts from the vaccines. Not clear yet. Hopefully a long time. Hey, thank you, John A. and PD. John A. and PD says, my first shot was on the 2nd of March, and I'm scheduled to receive second shot on March 30th. Thus far, no side effects. That's awesome. Very cool. Very cool. There's this other problem where, like, as soon as I hear, if I'm reading, like, these discussion groups online, and I hear, like, if I read, like, oh, this site, we've had luck getting it here, I feel like, well, by the time I've heard it, then everybody else is going to hear it, and it's going to be too crowded. Denise Horton says, persistence pays off. But I really, if nothing else, I want to make my best effort. It seems illogical of me, irrational of me, not to make my best effort to get it sooner if it's possible, if it is a significant possibility. So I'm making the effort. Phyllis says, I'm jealous of those who got a vaccine. Me too. Thanks to our mods, by the way. Sarah Joy is modding. By the way, to go back to Chris Lund's point about how fast they're making these. So I'm not sure what the restraining factors are, but there might be factors like ingredients, like they only have so many ingredients. I don't think it's a question of like that they could just run the plant longer. I'm guessing that they're making them as fast as they can. John Ditch says, yes, if it's posted online, it's too late. I will say the place that I was at today, the Walmart I was at today, it really seemed like if you didn't have an appointment, but you did have some kind of like condition, that they might be pretty willing to give it to you. Once I get it, what will I do differently? Well, I'll do nothing differently initially, but if I get it, and then once it's taken the proper amount of time after for it to start, working properly, one thing I'll definitely do is go to visit my family. But I'm not going to start, in terms of what else I do differently, I don't know. We'll have to see. Would I go once I'm vaccinated and it's had its time to work, I'd probably be willing to sit in a restaurant like by myself and eat lunch, where I don't do that now. I might be willing to go somewhere and sit inside and eat lunch. I'd like to do that. No, I'm not afraid of the side effects from vax. There's side effects. You can have side effects. I'm aware of what they are. Stuff like, pain in your arm, fever, that kind of thing. There's some people that can have a severe allergic reaction, but it's something they watch for when you get the vaccine. So I'm aware of them. Hollywood says, that's my plan too. Definitely want to see my family. No, Harsha Rao, it's not clear whether vaccination prevents transmission, and there's evidence suggesting it might. So it's just false to say, well, it's just not. When you say vaccine does not prevent transmission, the evidence does not support that claim. It's being researched right now, and there's a bunch of studies so far that suggest it does to some degree, but that's something that's being researched. Andrew Hazlitt says, my wife got the vaccine yesterday. She works in a bakery and got it because she's an essential worker. The doctor mailed her a day before it was her turn, and she could set it up. Very nice. Ben says, good luck on my vaccine trip. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just going to spend some time researching. I'm constantly checking the post to see where people are posting at. Also, I think I might have, I got on the list at a bunch of places, but I might want to expand if there's like a Walmart 45 minutes away. See, these lists, these lists you get on, these don't waste a dose list, it's got to be somewhere kind of close to you, because what they'll do is if they have an extra dose, they'll call you and they'll say you got to be over here pretty quickly. They might say 15 minutes, they might say an hour. But if it's an extra dose, they're going to want you to get there quickly. It's usually like at the end of the day, or when it's expiring. So it's pointless to, get on a list of a place an hour and a half away, because they're probably going to call you and say get here in like a half an hour. But there's this question of like, how far away do you want to get on lists? Ooh, Julie says who's been vaccinated, she got to hug her mom and sister yesterday. That's awesome. I haven't done that since November of 2019. Hey, thank you, Julie Huff. That's very nice of you. Thank you. Jeff says you have to be there within 50 minutes. Some places it is, but I've heard places that say you have to be here in like within an hour. It depends on the place. Jay-Z says, my wife had her first last week. Daughter is getting her first this week. Yep. Some sirens going on. I think the sirens are unrelated to the train horn, by the way. The train horn is just the going through town, they ring the train horn. The siren is something different. The siren's a fire engine, it sounds like. Ugh. Aaron Weirdo. I'm timing you out, Aaron Weirdo. Be respectful in the chat. Come on. I just got to check the news really quick because I haven't done that. My brain is focused on that right now. It's like earlier I compared it to looking for a place. When you're looking for a new place, it's such a relief when you're done, because you spend so much time trying to find the new place. And so if I can get this over with, it'll just be such a relief when I can move on to thinking about other things. Edward, my jacket is gray. Seize the day says, even vaccinated, I won't change my practice. I won't hug, kiss, touch, etc. Yeah, the color is a little weird. I mean, I'm using a webcam. It has the lighting doesn't really do the best job capturing the lighting in here. But anyways, let's see here. It is gray. Yeah, normally there aren't that many sirens here. It sounds like maybe there's a fire or something, but maybe it could be a car accident, I know in Atlanta when we heard a lot of sirens, often it was a car accident. Okay, so just a heads up, I'm going to be working the next couple of days trying to deal with that. And we'll see what happens. Rob Banks says Rob Banks says, you titled this correctly, you are obsessing. Rob, I think you mean that as a negative. I don't find anything negative at all about it. Seems like it's a big deal to me. Also, if it's something I'm going to be thinking about all the time anyway. Jay-Z says, good luck, sir. Now, in theory, in like a few months, this will all be moot, because in a few months, there'll be enough for everyone. But if I can get 6 extra weeks of my life being protected and not having to worry about it, then that's a big deal to me. 6 weeks or 5 weeks. Let's see here. All right, so that's what I had to say about that. But I'll keep you guys posted. I will certainly keep you posted. I might actually try to get to bed early tonight so I can wake up in the morning, and then put my name in on that list at the Walmart. Okay. So I'm here. Say if there's any other topics that you want to discuss, bring them up. Bring them up now. Now's your time to bring them up, because we're done with the obsessing part of the stream. I've explained that. Elizabeth Prentley, I'm timing Elizabeth Prentley out. Elizabeth Prentley just doesn't understand. She says you should not take shots away from the vulnerable. I have explained this again and again. I believe I've explained it to Elizabeth Prentley, so she's just not listening to me. She just doesn't understand what I'm saying. It's unbelievable. I can explain it simply again and again and again, and there's people who just don't understand what I'm saying. Jessica McBride says, so many people just do not listen. No major apartment updates. No, I never found out what happened with the sirens the other night. Vinyl Vish Record says, my 85-year-old mom got her first vaccine shot Tuesday. Had side effects yesterday and doing good today. See the day, I can't speak to those numbers. I mean, as I've said before, there's some disagreement among public health experts about whether there'll be a new rising wave in the U.S. before enough people get vaccinated. Ultimately, we'll just have to see what happens. The variants will push cases up, but people getting vaccinated will push cases down. So we'll have to see what happens. No, this is not a news stream. We're not discussing news topics. This is not a news stream. Ooh, Off My Lawn says, got my stick vacuum. Love it. I'm loving mine. Yeah, I still love mine. That's it. I'm timing out NM. NM says, as a friend, I think you're being selfish. There are many older that are still trying for an appointment. Why does no one listen to me? Why is no one listening to me? I don't think these people are trolls. I just think they're not listening to me. It's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. It's not hard. How old are the people getting the extra shots? There's various ages, but I assume they're not that old, because if they were 80, then they wouldn't need to get one of the extra shots. They could just make an appointment. Vinyl Vish Record says, my 61-year-old sister's getting her first shot tomorrow. We live in Philly and the vaccines are rolling out fast now. Cindy Jones has got my first shot last week. Hope my second one goes okay. Good luck with that. Yeah, I'm really just like focusing. I'm very focused on this thing right now. Well, Amanda Kelly, yeah, I don't, Amanda, you seem to be implying that there's something inconsistent with me saying that I'm obsessed with wanting to get the vaccine and, get one of these extra doses and not wanting to drive 2 hours when I don't know if I'm going to get it. I don't see what's inconsistent about that at all. I mean, there's a cost. If I drive to Jacksonville for 2 hours and there's a decent chance they won't have any vaccine there, then I've spent... It's going to take long. I mean, by the time I go there and back, it's like a whole day of driving, and I have nothing to show for it. So I don't, wanting to get the vaccine and wanting to put in effort doesn't mean you want to put in, doesn't mean you want to waste your effort. I don't want to just put in effort for the sake of putting in effort. I want to put effort when there's a good enough chance the effort will be successful. I don't think a 50% chance, it's a 50% chance of me getting the vaccine is not enough to make me to drive 2 hours to Jacksonville. That's a long time. And you got to drive back. Kenny says, yeah, you don't want to waste hours of time. That's it. Elizabeth's gone. She's trolling. Elizabeth's trolling. She's gone. Elizabeth's trolling. She's gone. She's just trolling now. Helena says, someone thanked you for your coverage and explanation of the vaccines a few days ago. Do you know which stream that was? I'd like to watch it. Helena, it was probably one of the Agenda Free TV 2 streams in the last few days. If you go to Agenda Free TV 2, it's going to be one of those streams. One of the news roundups, I think. I'm not sure which one, but from the last few days, one of the news roundups. Strange Reverend says 50% would definitely not be good enough odds to drive 2 hours. I don't even know that it's 50%, to be honest. I think it might be less than 50% now because I think that more people know about this site in Jacksonville. There's going to be more people going there. Because somebody posted it about it tonight on one of these boards I follow. So people are seeing that. Oh, she was talking about the letter I got? Sonic says, I think she was talking about the letter you got. Thanking me for the vaccine coverage? I'm not sure what that was. I'm not sure when that was or what that was. Maybe somebody else knows. I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know. Maybe one of the viewers will know. Jay-Z says, yeah, I mean, we were talking about this back in January. As Jay-Z says, we were covering this since a year ago, January. Sonic says 3-3 Caleb letter Lookner channel. Maybe that's what it is. Sonic has a suggestion about the stream you were looking for. The person who was asking about that stream. I forget who asked me. Helena, you can try Sonic's recommendation. 3-3 Caleb letter. Phyllis says everyone is going crazy to get a vaccine. Susie Q says, I drove my mom crazy, bugging her about getting an appointment for her and my dad. So fun to nag her for once. Oh, you know what I should do? I've been meaning to recommend this thing to you guys. So while I'm here, I should recommend this thing to you because I've been meaning to do it. There's a really good, TikTok feed. So I don't know if you guys know what TikTok is, but it is an app. And it's an app where people post short videos, like a minute long or shorter, I believe. And they can put songs on the videos, so it allows you to like take popular music and put it on your video. But people use it for all kinds of things. But there is a really great feed, a person who posts on TikTok that I want to recommend. And you don't even need the app. You can watch the videos on the web. So I'll give you the link. But it's a person with Tourette Syndrome. And she just posts, when she posts, she talks about her life, but she shows her tics that she has from her Tourette's, which includes like swearing and like hitting herself. And I've just been watching her videos, and I think she does a great public service because by watching the videos, you start understanding and becoming more familiar with what somebody with Tourette's have. So now I feel like after watching her videos, if I like ran across somebody in the actual world who had Tourette's and I saw them behaving that way, I'd be like, oh, that's like the thing I saw in the video. Like it wouldn't seem as strange and weird to me. And I think I'd be more just understanding of it. And it kind of like normalizes it in a way, and you're not like, what is going on with that person? I'm so scared of this. I mean, it's unfortunate that people have to deal with this stuff, but it's just, I think, really helpful. I'll put it this way. I think that a feed like hers makes people more accepting of people with Tourette's because they get some familiarity with it. So I want to recommend it because I think it's a really cool page. Lizzie says, would you know who I'm talking about? Lizzie says, I've seen her video. She's really great. So this is the person. It's called Maeve Goes Moo. She's a college student. Maeve Goes Moo. And I'm going to post a link. Maeve Goes Moo on TikTok. And she just like, she's very honest. And like you actually see in her videos, I don't want it to actually play. I can't play them because I'll have music on and stuff. But you see her, she shows her tics in her videos. And, and she doesn't hide it. And you just kind of learn what it's all about, and you see a person who has it and you get to know the person and you see what they're going through. So I actually think she does a really great job. Jay-Z says, I've seen folks on YouTube and TikTok who have Tourette's. They are awesome, brilliant. Diana says, lots of doctors on TikTok give good info too. Her name is Maeve Goes Moo. That's the site right there. I just posted the link. Diana says, I watch her too. She is brave and inspirational. No, not Sweet Anita. Sweet Anita is a Twitch streamer, right? I think Sweet Anita is a Twitch streamer. I've watched a little of her, but see, she does these, she does these long, the Twitch streamer, Sweet Anita, does these like hours long streams. So, these, and you can see her have like tics in it and stuff, but, there's other things going on in the stream. Whereas Maeve Goes Moo's posts, they're all like short. They're like, they can be 15 seconds, 30 seconds, that kind of thing. And they kind of focus on what she's going through. So I really recommend, I think it's a really cool, you can just go there and you can watch, you can watch 10 of her videos in 5 minutes. But I'll post the link again. Kimmy Rose says, love her candor. It's just really well done. And then you get to know the person. Again, I don't know anybody. I have never known anybody personally with Tourette's, not to this degree. So, just getting familiar with, I just think I'd be so much more, accepting isn't the wrong word, because I think I'd be accepting of it anyway. I wouldn't begrudge anybody having it. But I think accepting in the sense of you'd be familiar with it. There's something about being familiar with something. And and so I think if I run into somebody who has it now, I'll get it more, and I won't be so scared of it. Chris Lund says, that's really awesome to give her a shout out. Thank you. Well, I wanted to share. I think the videos are really cool. So, how many followers does she have now? She has 97,000 followers, but they're great. Then she'll sometimes do a thing where she'll do Zoom chats with like 4 friends who have Tourette's, and then they're all having their tics, but they they do them with each other, so they can kind of like joke about them and stuff. But also, you also see, she has different ones. Like there's like ones where she's hitting herself. There's ones where she swears at people. There's ones where she like falls down. So there's like different types. I think she's around 20 years old, Edward. She's in college. Jay-Z likes Trippy Hippie. Is that another one? I didn't see the Trippy Hippie on YouTube. I've never seen Trippy Hippie on YouTube. Is that somebody with Tourette's? Now, I'm guessing there's people like this with like different... This Trippy Hippie. Oh, there's somebody named This Trippy Hippie with Tourette's on YouTube, which I've never watched. Has like 500,000 subscribers. Jay-Z recommended this person. So I've never watched her videos. But it says Tourette Syndrome. Oh, Tourette Syndrome Awareness is what it says. If I remove my head, it says Tourette Syndrome Awareness. I should check those videos out too. Sorry, oops. I'll check them out later. Nope, I don't want to show that. Sunshine in Arizona says, this Trippy Hippie reads books on YouTube with tics. Does TikTok monetize? I think like major creators can monetize. I think they pay you like a certain amount if you get like a lot of people watching your videos, but it's not that much. I don't know if it might just only be for some creators though. And she does take medication for it. She does. But it only works so well, and like she's had it really bad. And they like recently she's talked about them trying to switch her medication. Melissa McQueen says, I'll check her out. I've just been investigating others in this position lately, as a matter of fact. Yeah, Sunshine in Arizona says she's a good sense of humor. It's crazy because, like, she has so many tics. She's constantly being interrupted by like this. It must be exhausting, but she still maintains like a really positive spirit. I mean, you just get the sense that it's like she's like. Also, her comments are really good to read. If you read the videos, on the videos on, I wonder if I can show you here. So like under the if you actually watch the video and you click on the video, there are comments underneath. And the creators sometimes will post in the comments. So she'll post stuff in the comments of the videos. People will ask her questions and she'll answer them. And she has described the tics like a sneeze. Like she'll say like, it's like, people say, can you stop it? And she'll say, it's like, when you have to sneeze, you just sneeze. And it's just, she'll like be saying like, hey guys, how are you? Like, I hope you're doing really well. And then all of a sudden, like she'll basically say F you because she can't control it. And then she'll be angry for a second. And then she'll just kind of go back and being really nice. And it's like, and also you kind of just like, you stop, you kind of realize like the tics aren't, it's not really her talking. It's like you get momentarily taken over. So you're like when the tics happen, you don't really blame her. You're like, oh, these tics it's like a condition she has, and the tics are interrupting her, what she would normally wants to say to you. Jay-Z says it's the same as this Trippy Hippie, she's so funny. It's just such a public service. I mean, maybe there's probably people with other conditions like this. I just think it's such a good use of the medium where people can get to know a type of person they don't know and see something they're not familiar with and become familiar with it. Melissa McQueen says, difficult to control with medication. Not much is known about how each individual system reacts. Yeah, I was reading up on Tourette's. I guess it affects a lot of younger people, and then often it just goes away. Oh, here it says Tourette Syndrome. I was saying Tourette's. Tourette Syndrome. Mayo Clinic. A disorder that involves repetitive movements or unwanted sounds, tics that cannot be easily controlled. Tics typically show up between ages 2 and 15, with the average being around 6 years of age. Although there is no cure, treatments are available. Many people with Tourette syndrome don't need treatment when symptoms aren't troublesome. Tics often lessen or become controlled after the teen years. How about that? It's me, Emily says, I know about autism from YouTube. Diagnosis and treatment, Tourette syndrome. There's no specific test that can diagnose Tourette syndrome based on the history of your signs and symptoms. Treatment. There is medications to help control tics or reduce symptoms, include blah, 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 blah. There's also therapy. Jay-Z says, my daughter has type 1 diabetes and she's the bravest person I know. Any kid that is dealing with an obvious ailment needs to be learned about. Alibaba said, I know a flamenco guitar player that had Tourette's. He controlled it playing the guitar. He never had tics when his mind was busy playing. It's pretty jarring when you first start watching the videos and you see when you see the tics. It's pretty jarring. And she'll show herself watching a lecture. And you feel so bad, like she'll be watching a lecture, you know, she does her online classes. And it's like every 6 seconds or more she's having one of these tics, and you're like, how does she even get through the day? It can be really, I mean, some days it's worse than others, she says, but it gets really bad sometimes. Sunshine in Arizona says they often bump their heads and get hurt from their tics. My heart goes out to them. Denise Horton says, my son has had tics since he was 5 months old. Didn't think much on it, just let him be himself. He's 27 now, soon now on meds. Music is a therapy. Hey, thanks, by the way, Denise, for your support. I appreciate that, Denise. Thank you. And thank you also, Rita's Real. Rita's Real has an MRI for her back tomorrow. I'm sorry, back stuff sucks. I hope your MRI goes okay. Thank you, Rita's Real. And thank you, John A. and PD as well. I appreciate that, John A. and PD. John A. and PD says, I have essential tremors disorder. I can identify with her. I personally have tics of various types. Yeah, a cool thing like TikTok, and I'm guessing YouTube is the same thing, is like the viewers can ask questions. She sometimes goes live, but the viewers you can ask questions in the comments, and often she'll reply to them. Connie Fernandez says, I'm a special ed teacher. I've had students like her. It's hard to watch all day. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'll watch and I see, you know, I might watch 2 minutes of the videos and I'm like, wow. But to have that all day, it just must be exhausting. I just think, like, imagine sneezing all day, how exhausted you'd be. These are very physical tics, a lot of them. Phyllis says, learning about mental illness can really give you compassion. Darren says, I have absolute epilepsy, and if you're not familiar with it, if I had an episode, you would probably freak out, and I do take medication. Yes, Edward, I finished the rest of the chicken tonight. Okay, so again, that's my recommendation. You don't even have to be signed up for TikTok. You can literally click on this link and you can watch her videos without having the TikTok app and without even logging into TikTok. So I'll post the website again. That's the website. Okay, so I wanted to mention that, and then I also wanted to mention. I don't know if you guys remember. A couple months ago, we talked about this site Schlesinger, which is they do like focus groups, and they had mentioned them, and I was like, oh, I used to do that, and I said I used to like do these focus groups in LA where they'd pay you like $100 and you'd go somewhere for an hour or two and you'd like try something, or I remember they paid me I think $100 once to talk about beverages and go to McDonald's. So a bunch of us signed up for Schlesinger, and then I recently remembered, oh, I stopped, because what they do is they'll send you emails and they'll say, hey, we have a survey, are you interested? And then you answer a few questions, and then they get back to you if they're gonna use you for the focus group or for the survey, or whatever it is, And then I realized I filled a couple of these out and I didn't hear back, and then I was like, oh, wait a second. I remembered that I think I stopped doing this. I stopped responding to the Schlesinger emails in LA because I would respond to all of them and I would never get a survey. So I don't know if anybody who did it actually got to a survey. But what happened to me is I was doing it in LA and then I stopped. I remembered that I stopped because they just never would pick me for anything. So I don't know if any of you have tried it at all. Let's see. See, Michelle Sparks says, I signed up and they won't leave me alone. They send me emails, but I just remembered that I would never actually, eventually I stopped getting chosen. Like I would just fill them out again and again and again. Let's see here. So if you remember that, I just didn't remember that when I first was talking about it. I think it's called Schlesinger Group. Oh, I have another TikTok recommendation for you too. I'm going to recommend another TikTok for you. That's good. Schlesinger Group. Oh, where's like the sign up? Some of you signed up for it. Here, see, it's like it says, get paid for your opinions. That's the thing. Anyways. Jeff says, I signed up for Prolific. It's awesome. What is Prolific? Sonic says, more people signed up for the toilet paper extender. Prolific, get paid for taking part in public surveys. Participated in studies. All right. Prolific. You can make money doing studies. I've never heard of this. Jeff Ha said Jeff Ha likes Prolific. Start earning in minutes, it says. Jay-Z says, I signed up for something similar on LinkedIn. They were a pain and never took my interviews. Connie Fernandez says, I used to be a mystery shopper. Ooh. Fran Stein says, focus on the person, not the disability. The thing is, when you watch, like, if you could get to know a person with like Tourette Syndrome, like that TikTok, you start focusing on the person more because you start getting to know the person. Yeah, you should be able to. You should be able to watch. You can watch TikTok videos, not on. You don't have to have the app. You can just watch them on the web. I'm gonna mention one more TikTok. This one is great. I didn't used to like it as much. It's called Mommy Farmer. Mommy Farmer. And what it is this woman, Rebecca Pyle, who basically she posts a couple videos every day. Her and her husband have a farm, like a small farm with a bunch of animals. And she'll post like a minute video of her walking around and like seeing all the animals. And it's just the same animals in the same farm, but it's just fun to watch this like every day, watch like a 30-second video of her talking to the same animals. So all I can say is I like it. Give it a chance. And you might think it's boring at first, but watch it a couple times. There, Mommy Farmer. Quiana says, I love her TikTok. Diana says, I like them too. But you don't need to have the TikTok app to watch this. If you just go there, here's the one she does. These ones. The ones I watch are like this one. Like, the dog, she's showing the dogs, then she shows the pigs, then she'll show the goats, then she'll show the horses. Those are the ones I watch. And she'll just do a couple of those a day, I think. And the barn cats. So anyways, I like Mommy Farmer. Diana L. also likes Useless Farm. Yeah, she has corgis. But if you've never checked out TikTok, it's worth checking out. It has all kinds of stuff on it. I've never watched Useless Farm. I'll have to check out Useless Farm. One of our viewers likes Useless Farm in Canada. Here, I'm gonna write that down on my app. I'm gonna follow her on my app so I can watch later. Whoa! Why is it doing this? Why? TikTok has this reputation as being like this kids thing, but there's all kinds of stuff on TikTok. I follow some feeds that are like. I live in Orlando, so there's a couple people who like have feeds where they just go review stuff that's in Orlando. There's all kinds of stuff there. It's really worth checking it out if you haven't looked at it. You can go and you can get the app and you can just search. If you can search for a keyword, search for a city or search for a topic, and you'll find stuff. There's a really good there's a good channel I follow on TikTok where it's just they talk about basketball stuff a lot. Diana says, hours go by when I watch TikTok. But again, I feel like it's something that's mostly young people using it. And I don't think a lot of people realize how varied the content is. Jeff Ha, TikTok was almost, President Trump threatened to ban it, but he didn't. Amanda Kelly says, TikTok makes time fly so much. The thump just happened again. I heard it sounded like a door up there, and the ceiling actually shook. The ceiling actually shook when that happened. But I bet you can't hear it now. Let me replay this. I bet you can't hear it. The ceiling actually shook. Amanda Kelly says TikTok makes time fly so much. The thump just happened again. Threatened to ban it, but he didn't. Amanda Kelly says TikTok makes time fly so much. The thump just happened. I don't know. You couldn't really hear it. Okay. Diana L. likes Dr. Eric on TikTok. Yeah, it's just the apartment is just, there's a lot of great things about it, just the insulation is not up to par. Sonic says the social media services are so transient, though. As soon as you get an account, they're useless gone. Well, enjoy it while it lasts. No, it's not an angry neighbor. It's just the apartment takes in certain noises that it shouldn't. All right. So I talked about that. Oh, and the last thing I'll tell you about is this. So I had seen that in my neighborhood there was a Taco Bell Cantina opening. Now I don't eat a Taco Bell. I can't really eat fast food anymore because I have to stick to a diet. But I was kind of intrigued. I'm like, why are they calling it Taco Bell Cantina? Why is it not just Taco Bell? And they opened one in downtown Orlando. Wonder if I can show you a picture of it here. But I was like, why do they have the word Cantina in the name? Anyways, I can't. Here it is. See, look, this is from Bungalower. Taco Bell Cantina. See, it's Taco Bell Cantina. What is Bungalower? I'll have to look at that. But what I figured out is the big thing at Taco Bell Cantina. I was watching TikTok, and one of the reviewers that I follow did a review of Taco Bell Cantina. And I figured out the big thing is they serve alcohol there. They serve alcohol at Taco Bell Cantina. And this is what I did not know. This isn't just any Taco. This is the Taco Bell website. This isn't just any Taco Bell. Introducing our Taco Bell Cantina restaurants, equipped with a fancy new look, open kitchen, custom menu, and specialty alcoholic beverages like beer, wine, sangria, and liquor versions of our classic freezes. So they have alcohol there. Do they list the alcohol? I don't know if they list the alcohol. But they do have alcohol there. Melissa McQueen says we have one of those in downtown Sacramento. Ooh, there's maybe some pictures on Google. Here we go. No, that's old. It's so new. Go back to the menu. It said drinks. Okay. See, look, Taco Bell Cantina. This is livingmas.com. This is their website. So see, they have drinks inside. Beer and wine, freezes. I didn't even know about this. Oh, this says Living Mas. I don't know if this is an official site. This might be a Taco Bell news website, Living Mas. That might not be the official site. Taco Bell. No, it says Taco Bell Cantina Living Mas. Looks like that's it. I don't even know. No, I guess it's just a fan site. What happened to the official site? There it is. That's the official site. Menu. Did it say drinks? Drinks. Oh, here it is. But I don't know if this is the alcoholic drinks. This doesn't look like the this is not the. I'm not seeing many alcoholic drinks on here. Anyways, Lizzie says that's my kind of Taco Bell. Edith says Cantina serves liquor drinks. What is the definition of Cantina? A wine shop in a Spanish-speaking country or a bar. So the name Cantina means bar. Oh. Cantina in a Spanish-speaking country of the southwestern U.S., a bar. Ah, okay. Jeff Haas says, don't a lot of kids work there? They probably can't serve it to people. Quiana says it's open already, serving alcohol. Amanda Kelly says the one in Austin stopped serving alcohol in 2019. Courtney, I've done 4 streams in the last 2 days. I don't know why you were worried. Everything is passable here in the apartment. It's the same. It's fine. Some of the noises are still there, but whatever. What can I do? I ain't moving now. Still hear the elevators somewhat. Still hear the banging noise. They haven't fixed the rain thing yet. But, I mean, it's a really nice apartment. And it's also really a lot of really great stuff about it, but there's the noise issues. Anyways. All right. Guys, I think we might be reaching that time. I may want to try to get, if I can, I don't know if I'll be able to. I may want to try to go to bed early and then try to get up and go over and put my name in at that Walmart for the list. Anyways, so I think it's going to be time. But I really appreciate you joining for this live stream. If you missed what I was obsessed about, or what I am obsessed about, go rewind. But thank you to our moderators. I very much appreciate the moderators, Sarah Joy and Lizzie, FTW, Melissa, Alicia, Linda Belk. Thank you so much. Moderators. They're all volunteers. Oh, thank you, Sonic. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Sonic says, thump noise, no 80% Chuck, N95 masks, obsessing about vax, Maeve Goes Moo, and Mommy Farmer TikTok, focus groups, Taco Bell, Cantina. That's an excellent summary, Sonic. A very good summary. Thank you, Sonic. And thanks to everybody else who donated. That is really nice of you guys. I very much appreciate it. Thank you. Well, I hope I can figure out this vaccine thing. Figure it out and get one. Get one of these extra doses. Hey, and thanks to all of you for watching. And a lot of interesting comments for all of your, except for the anti-vaxxers. Don't thank you for watching. Don't comment again. Courtney Maddows, thanks for watching. C. Michelle Sparks, Ann M. Eric. Lucy's getting her shot at Walmart, her second shot. Awesome. In Alabama. Ryder, who is lurking. Thanks to all the lurkers. Thank you, lurkers. King Benton. Melissa McQueen. Hedge Enemy says M. Crouton on Twitter for more cute farm animal goodness. E. Pan. C. Michelle Sparks. Christopher Lund. Christopher says, I always kid myself I'm going to get up early, LOL. Well, my problem is my schedule is so late that the going to bed early is the problem. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll have to see how I feel about it. I'm going to try. I'm really going to try. Dilrod says, do a 24-hour stream. I was looking at, somebody else was doing a video about a 24-hour stream they did, and I was thinking about it, but now is not the time. I'd like to do it at some point. I really would. Rosemary Randolph. Thanks for watching. Edward Kim. Alibaba. Jay-Z, thanks for watching, Jay-Z. Strange Reverend. Brendan Brumond. John A. and PD. Linda Birdbike is getting her first vaccine at CVS on Thursday. Awesome. Who knows? Maybe one of the places on the list I signed up for will call me. Julie says, you've inspired me to try getting an extra dose. Why not? It's going to get thrown out anyway. Amanda Kelly says, you can do a 24-hour stream after you get your vaccine so we can monitor you and so people will know there are no side effects. I will stream if I get one. Electric crystals. Arizona Jumper. I don't know if I'm going to run tonight, Edward. I'm going to try to maybe go to bed. Nope, there's extra doses. There's extra doses that they give away before throwing away. There's extra doses. Sonic says, I have a 200 or 225 character limit for $10 or $20. It's a whole system. Thank you for all your support, Sonic. I really appreciate that. See Michelle Sparks, Jan Porter, thank you. D Howe, thanks for watching, D. Amanda Kelly says you might want to try your county health department as well. Maybe I will. Thank you, Amanda. Maudeeb, thanks for watching. Chris Lund, thanks for watching. Mr. Showtime, thank you for watching. After this ends, I'm going to go and check out my discussion boards and see if anybody posted any new intelligence about the spare vaccines in my area. We'll see. Logical Danger, thank you for watching. I hyphenated kind of obsessing and kind of obsessing. Should I not have hyphenated kind of? That might have been a mistake. No, I should not have hyphenated kind of obsessing. I should not have hyphenated kind of. It doesn't have a hyphen in it. Wow. I wasn't thinking. I just wasn't thinking. Can you believe I just figured that out right now? Looked right. I just fixed it. Can't believe it. I just looked it up in the dictionary. Yeah, I just Googled kind of, and it's just you don't see it hyphenated anywhere. Oh, thank you, Denise Horton. Denise says, thank you for the vaccine info. Thank you, Denise. Really appreciate your support from Canada. Thank you, Denise. Edward, enjoy your bike ride. Brainy Janie, thanks for watching. Thanks again to our moderators. Very much appreciated moderators. Brandy Jenny was in the Lurkers Lounge. Melissa Lisa, Sarah Joy. Linda Bell Glizzy, thank you. Thank you for moderating. All right, guys. We are finishing this up. Hey, Terry. Terry says, good luck on your quest. May it be successful soon. Thank you, Terry. I will keep you guys posted. I'm hoping at some point I just get a phone call. But I can't just sit and wait. I have to try to help make it happen. All right, guys, that is it for now. That is it. We are wrapping up. Thank you so much for watching. Detricky Panda was watching. Thank you, Detricky Panda. All right. That is it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll keep you posted. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend, if it's not Monday yet where you are. And we will see you very soon.